Good evening.
Good
Welcome.
evening.
Welcome to week 6 show of the rundown. Um I think we should have I was just thinking just what that 30 seconds thing was going. Like I don't know if you know about this, but a lot of like famous people will have like names for their supporters. So like Beyonce's got the
Oh yeah,
beehive.
yeah. Like One Direction had the Directioners or some shit. The
Yeah. So
Beliebers,
I think we should call ours the tankers.
the Tankers.
Yeah, thanks for being the a bunch of tankers. I think we should be.
Can you?
Well, sport tank. Just not the big rundown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could call them the Downies because they're watching the rundown, and it's just that we're all just a bunch of.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should have a vote. What do you
We're
want?
just
To call
everybody watches us as just a big old Downy.
it? Oh my god. Anyway, welcome.
No, okay, cool.
What a load of tankers. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
No, Russ, you're definitely a Downy, mate.
Yeah. It's interesting. I just quite interested in seeing who's tanking tonight.
Dunfermline,
Well,
definitely
yeah.
Dunfermline. They're tanking for that number one pick that doesn't exist.
Oh, mate. Well, I don't know if you've seen their social media, mate.
Mate, I replied.
Brilliant.
Did you? Have you got it? Like, have you got Twitter or anything in front of you?
No.
Like, I jumped straight into their mentions.
It was about
like
2 or 3 posts they did.
Oh, I did the one where they talked about like the game day recap. It's just the guy getting punched
Yeah,
in the
getting
face.
punched. No, well, yeah, they did a Puss in Boots one, and the Stags jumped on that theme and they replied in a Puss in Boots one once they won. It was quite funny. So yeah.
Oh, I just when I saw the one about them getting punched in the face,
Yeah, quality.
I just chucked a GIF underneath, and it was just it was Futurama Fry, and it was like, I'm shocked. Well, not really.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was but yeah, so anyway, welcome everyone. I can see a couple of regulars already popping up.
Yeah.
Hello, Cool P's here.
He is indeed.
He had another 3 really good graphics posted this week. That was cool. I love him. I love his work.
I definitely kept track of those.
Well, it doesn't matter. You don't need to.
Okay, good.
I'll share.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, really good. Like we get really good engagement on those things. It was cool. Yeah. So yeah, it was a nice week. Results wise, we'll go through it and we'll talk about if there's any shocks. Oz and I were just talking prior to going live. We'll also put up the league tables now because they're starting to form a little bit.
Yeah.
So as we talk through different games, we'll pull up the league tables. That'll probably take us even longer. Catch this live instead of on repeat.
Welcome. Yes. Now you can chirp in and say inappropriate things.
Absolute tanker. That's what he is.
No, he's a full-on
Downy. Tanker.
He has got full-blown downs. Rundown. He's a rundowner.
He's a rundowner, right?
He's a
runner.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway, yeah.
I'm definitely not a runner.
He's got the runs.
Right, this fan thing is just terrible.
Yeah, we're just going to upset everyone. Yeah, so I've got a couple of topics I want to talk about as well, which again,
do you want to kick those off? Are we going to kick those off to start with, or do you want to get into some recaps first?
When do you want them?
How many you got?
I got 2.
We'll do one now. We'll go one now, one between previews and reviews.
I feel like, Yeah, let's start with this one's like a bigger one, and really one that I don't. I don't know how it's going to pan out.
Lots of inappropriate things incoming. I think the way you're dancing around this, I think he's right.
Yeah. No, this one isn't inappropriate, but I've just been thinking, right? So
dangerous.
We've got the flag football is going to be an Olympic sport or is about to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw something about that.
It's like a couple of Olympics away or whatever. I don't.
It's on the road. It's on the roadmap, is my understanding.
Right now, I want to talk about how our national governing body are going to react to that and what they should and what they will, what we think they will do, because I think we might even see players and coaches from contact football changing and going over to flag football, the chance of playing in, representing GB at the Olympics. Like I think it might actually, there might be a bit of a shift. But
you mean in the UK?
In the UK, yeah.
Right.
So
with Techners.
With Techner, he's messed that one up, hasn't he?
Yeah,
so close, Tom.
You had one shot,
so
Tom.
Close.
You had one shot and you fucked it.
That's it. Fucked it. There's no
never want to see you commenting here again.
Yeah, so I think that if BAFA don't pay enough attention to flag football, then they may face a mutiny from flag football, and like, we need a new governing body. We're gonna, splinter away because we're now we're an Olympic sport. We want to be, better looked after, because flag football, people are quite disgruntled, right? Like they don't feel like the governing body really looks after them. So there has to be a bit more of a weight shift towards flag anyway, from BAFA's perspective.
Flag football is kind of the redhead stepchild of football, though.
But it is. But it's now going to be CEO. Like, it's now going to be, it's going to be an Olympic sport. It's going to have a lot of
because because the thing is one of the biggest things that flag football has to overcome first and foremost is the connotations that come with it, because and the prejudices against flag football, which No,
it doesn't. It's done it. It's an Olympic sport.
It definitely it's done it. The thing is, it's not being championed by the UK. What I mean by flag,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I mean flag
surely
football in the
flag people and the government, like the is it DCMS? They're going to want a good representative team in the Olympics, right? Like from GB.
Not necessarily.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Of course they will.
Because the thing is, I'm not seeing anybody like. I don't think there is anybody currently playing flag football at this moment in time that is of a quality to win a medal in flag football.
There's some decent teams.
Yeah, cool. Decent at a regular. No, Steve's got his tea right in front of him. Don't worry.
Fuck you.
He's just not
it's
taking
around my mouth. It's all orange. I know.
Yeah, he's just not taking a mouthful because he's too busy getting wound up about flag football.
I'm not wound up.
There might be people that are decent, but we're talking like still like.
That's what I'm saying about athletes coming in. And I said people changing from contact, but actually athletes from other sports, right? Like, people will think, oh, I fancy that. It's actually a low barrier of entry, right? You could start playing flag now and potentially as an athlete and end up in this GB team.
Yeah, in the GB team, but I don't think you'd fucking go anywhere. The question I want to know is, with the Olympics, are they going to have the same that they have with, for example, that they have, for example, with boxing? So, like, to compete in the Olympics in boxing, you have to be an amateur. You cannot be a professional to compete in the Olympics for boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Does flag does it mean?
I thought that was all sports. Oh no, because you've had
soccer
NBA players playing.
100%. And then Lionel Messi won the gold with soccer. Like, right. It's so I wonder which ones, because if you can be a pro and you can go to the Olympics, what are we doing? Like, this is even more than like American NBA players.
Pro flag needs to exist before we can actually compete.
No. I mean that America. The gold is just America's. Like, it's their fucking sport. This is not basketball where like it's a sport that's played all around the world and some of the best players. Like, this is American football, right? If pro players can compete, like it's you're not competing for gold. You are competing for silver and bronze.
Yeah.
But
that's not what I'm talking about.
No. But then
once they get there, I'm talking about what is our sport and our national governing body going to do.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think they're going to look. I don't think our national governing body is going to look at flag football as an importance in medal placing, because they're going to go, we can never win gold.
No, I don't think they think it. I think they need to support the sport leading up to the Olympics, so that we've got. Imagine if they just left it like, oh yeah, we'll just send some people along to some trials. We'll put together an all-star team that can be GB. Like, that's not enough, right? Surely we're talking, like, there has to be some form of program. There has to be something. The national governing body have to spend more money than they are and put more attention into flag. I think so. Like if I look at the the content, and it's really good to see Baffa pushing content out, by the way. I don't ever see much flag stuff from them. The focus is always on contact. Let's see what
because that's where Tom's made a good point. If there's money in flag, Baffa will go there.
Well, there will be money in flag, surely by having a focus on flag, you'll get better grants from Sport England.
Baffa follows the money. They do. And from what you were just saying here about the actually Tom's comment has literally just derailed me. What was the last thing you said before Tom commented about not really seeing much from flag? It's all generated toward. Oh, right. Okay. The reason it's all generated towards contact is because that is the transferable application that you can market to, right? People that play.
I meant their content.
Yeah. But people that play football in GB, right? In the UK, not the national team. People that play contact in UK, right? Where have we all started? What is it that's drawn us, right? For I'd say probably 75% of the people that have got into playing football in the UK, it's come from Madden, it's come from watching the NFL, is predominantly what it's come from, right? Which is full contact. Now, Beth will do the right thing.
Did I say that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Barry, you can't confirm that, mate. That's salacious. That's defamation.
Play the tape. Yeah, and then Anthony's got the third one. It's Madden, it's the NFL, and it's cool profile pictures. When you've seen one of your mate who came from Madden or NFL get a profile picture, and you're like, fuck, I want one of those. But it's because that's where the marketability is at the moment. Now, the NFL is, as Ash mentioned before, the NFL is slightly switching their approach. They've introduced flag into the about 4, go down about 5, like a few more comments.
Hey, Ash.
So like his is he's mentioning ironically when he says this. So he says, well, Fedora dropped half the Pro Bowlers from the NFL season to go play flag. That's why they've changed the Pro Bowl games. They wouldn't drop mid-season. It's the same as how unless there was going to be a hiatus in the middle of the NFL season for the Olympics, which I doubt. But my point is that they're already shifting their focus to flag because there is a massive, massive push for flag in America because they're one of the reasons they want flag in the Olympics. But it's part of the whole like go 60, be active sort of thing that they're doing in the schools and stuff like that. It's like play flag, get active. Couldn't work out a shot with an implication, withdraw the quote mark. So I think that from a Baffa standpoint, the reason they push so much content for contact is because that's where the audience is. You know, like you think about the majority of the people that play football in the UK, they're adult contact or uniball. Like, and then with women, saying, though, and then with women, they are female contact.
More on flag.
Yeah, but they won't.
People saying that's where the money is. You'll get Sport England lottery cash.
You're saying shouldn't they be forward thinking? That's what you're saying. Shouldn't they be? Yeah, because there's the flag is pushed in schools. There's the NFL UK program or whatever it is,
community program.
The community program. Yeah. But you're also saying like, shouldn't Baffa do this? You're working under the assumption
what should Baffa do is what I'm saying. I'm not actually criticizing. I'm saying should we expect a change in Baffa to align to this huge thing that's happening, which is flag football being an Olympic sport?
Probably not anytime soon, because that would be forward thinking.
That's what I was going to say. Surely now's the time to fucking start, right?
Yeah, but now would be the time to start. But that would be forward thinking, whereas they are reactionary. They're not like they always react. The governing body.
I've seen a 10-year plan that 7 years ago that is still the same 10-year plan today. So either it's a 7-year plan now or it's a 13-year plan. I don't know what it was, but that was forward thinking. But my guess with that,
and that was in reaction to somebody asking for a 20-year plan, and they gave him a 10-year plan.
If my prediction with that is if I sniffed around a little bit and looked for 10-year plans for cricket from back then,
very similar.
They probably look exactly the same. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I don't feel that the 10-year plan was that well aligned to our sport, or is it being executed on? But that's a different story. And certainly, surely, the advent of which probably wasn't foreseen back then, the advent of this Olympic sport coming flag being made Olympic sport should change the 10-year plan.
Yeah, it should. Flag. The thing is, it's becomes another goal for a lot of players. NFL held a school tournament in the Highlands last month. So I'm assuming that would be for flag. Isn't the inconsistency due to flag being played in tournaments and not every weekend like contact?
I don't know.
Have they got the numbers to play every weekend like contact though?
No, but this is like I don't know what I didn't.
And also, if you were going to do it, if you're going to be smart about it,
he's talking about the inconsistency of coverage. So, but then I don't know, Alexander, if there's been coverage when there has been flag been played, or is it not kicked off yet? I'm fairly sure flag is.
There's a massive issue with all of this, though, right? Is with flag, right? Is you to maximize it, you should not run flag when contact's running, right? Like that would.
Why?
What do you mean? Why? Because you want
you can't contact runs all year as far as BAF is concerned.
Yeah, well, I was more thinking adult contacts because that's when the majority of like you shouldn't be running it. It should be run as an alternative, but then you run into the issue of we run adult contact in summer, right? So that way we're not competing with rugby league, rugby union for players, right? So they can play rugby league
and grounds,
and grounds and things like that. Yeah, so they can play the rugby league, rugby union in the winter, and then they can play football in the summer. When the fuck do you slot flag in if they're going to be running in a regular, I think they could do it in tournaments. They're
doing it now. It's not.
But I'm talking about if you want to maximize coverage, right? Like if you want the best football players in the country playing flag to qualify for this Olympics, the best football players in the country play adult contact.
I don't know. There's a couple of decent flag players.
Cool, there is, but it's
but that's what I was saying about. But
I would say they're probably more athletes as opposed to actual football players.
No, there's a couple of. I think there's a couple of very good football players
that aren't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we'll see I do think we'll see people changing over to flag, to, like taking it really seriously, like not playing kitted, not coaching kitted, actually coaching in flag, because there's more. There'll be more money in it. Like that's what I would expect.
There'll be money in it.
But that's what that's what I would expect. I would expect there to be more money, more focus. I wouldn't be angry if I saw, that there was, I don't know.
So Nathan's just said the top flag players get recruited to kitted.
Like that's what I expect that. Like I would love to see GB do really well in the Olympics playing flag football, right?
What realistically do you think's GB's ceiling in the flag football Olympics?
Sorry?
Like at the Olympics, what do you think GB's ceiling would be?
I don't know. I would probably put us as a top 10 team, but I don't know where.
I suppose it comes like because the only thing you've really got to, and then because obviously I think the women's team, you could be talking about the women's team as top 3 based on their performance.
Flag women's team,
flag women's team based on their performances in the kitchen space. But for the men's team, if you look at just the last time that they competed in like the European champs or the because that's the only thing you can really use to translate it over. And I know it's not even because the flag team wouldn't be the kitted team, so to speak, or it might I don't know. It's just very, very difficult because realistically, whenever you have things like a lot of Olympic sports are underfunded, right? A lot of them are. A lot of GB athletes have to do their own fundraising for the Olympics because they are not seen as medal contenders.
Nathan, I don't know the answer to that.
That's also an interesting,
yeah. So there are actually some Olympic sports that name, there has to be a certain number of men and women mix on the field at any time. I don't know because you could get mixed, you could get men's and women's categories, right? Like I don't know. I don't know enough about it to answer those sort of questions. I just feel like the national governing body is going to have to become a flag first.
See, I don't know because I don't think they do though, because you talk about all this money coming in for because it's going to be Olympic sport. There are so many Olympic sports and categories that are underfunded to fuck, where people have to do all their own fundraising. Why? Because the UK or whichever country, they're not serious medal contenders. So Sport England and things like that go, well, we're not going to pump money into a money pit. Like we're not going to win a medal in this. we don't need to go spunking all of our money into it because we're not a serious contender. And that's why a lot of, especially a lot of track and field athletes have to do their own fundraising.
Yeah.
Because, because it's looked at, it's like, well, you're up against the Americans, you're up against, in long distance running, you're up against the African nations.
Yeah.
Like and that's why you see them out there and they're like, I'm really trying to get to the world championships, or I'm trying to get to the Commonwealth Games, or I'm trying to get to the Olympics. Yeah. I need your money to do so, because Sport England goes, well, you might feature, you might make it out of your heat, but that's about it. Like, we're not gonna fund you. Like, realistically, if what is GB ceiling in the flag world, and how much money is there really going to be if they look at it and they're like, oh, flag football is an Olympic sport, and they're like, all right,
so
cool.
These are definitely unknown, but I would like to think that there was some sort of money available to them, some sort of grant money.
Yeah, I'd assume there'd probably be some sort of pittance, but I can't see like Sport England or anything turn around and being like, right, flag's now become an Olympic sport. All of our resources go to this, because there's other Olympic sports that are much more deserving of for the UK. Like even something like netball, where GB, or England more specifically, is like top 3 in the world, struggle for funding. Yeah. Like, and they're top 3. They are consistently top 3 in the world. It's Australia, New Zealand, England.
Yeah.
Like at the World Champs, at the Olympics, everything. And then there's usually so Jamaica might make the top 4, South Africa might make the top 4. I love netball, by the way. What an amazing sport that is. But it's so much skill and athleticism.
Chris Green plays for GB netball team.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, it's nuts.
He's an Aztecs player.
But it's like, it's so underfunded for a sport where you are meddling pretty much every fucking time. Yeah, so it's like, where does it come in for, like, from this specific thing? So so there we go. Our existing GB squads are pretty much self-funded as well. Like, I can't see Sport England turn around to the moment flag football's announced as an Olympic sport, because it hasn't been announced yet.
They're pretty much self-funded. I think the last financial report that was released showed that GB is funded by about 50 or 60% of the membership funds that we have, that we pay in, goes to the GB.
My question is, is Russ need to pay? No. My question is Russ talking about the GB squads for men and women for football, or is he talking about the GB squad for the Olympics?
I think he's talking about just our normal kitted.
Well, I'm not sure, because I know that majority of like Olympic and Commonwealth Games squads, like the athletes, a lot of them are self-funded.
Alex has said about there being a flag. I know, because he's gone at. I assume this is Twitter.
Oh, at flag. Yeah.
Flag account. Yeah, let's have a look.
I enjoy Ryan's comment. Sport England will grant the use of some balls and belts to be used in sports centres, and that's about as far as it goes. You can turn up at your local YMCA, play some 3-on-3 flag football with second-hand belts, and then you'll be off.
Baffa Flag has got Baffa Flags follows 47 people, and they have 47 followers.
I think I've got 47 followers. That's about right. It's a good follow amount.
They last posted like 3 weeks ago. Oh no, yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Mate, that account's going to blow up.
I hope so, but then I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
There's not much content being created for it. There's screenshots,
and we're getting a lot of dead air now that we've kind of reached the pinnacle of this point. Will Baffa do something? Probably. But I can't imagine it being massive. There we go. They got 950 followers on Instagram. Twitter is a bit of a dying medium since Elon took over. There will be some money in it, but I can't see it being like this cash cow, because there just isn't the money to go around. Like, the big sports get there. Like, I can imagine that it comes out of a possible grant that Sport England give to Baffa for football. And then they have to they go, look, we give you X amount of money every year for football. And then it turns around, they're like, but you have to section an X percentage off for flag now. Like, they don't give you any more. They just say, this is what now has to happen. So I don't know. It's just until it becomes like an actual thing, I don't really see them doing bugger all. Like, because I did some Googling as well, and it's not actually, like, they said it's one step closer to becoming an Olympic sport, but it's not actually confirmed.
It's really weird that they do post content. There is content being posted on Facebook, not like loads, but still stuff. I don't know why they're putting that for a separate account. Like, it's all under the Baffa umbrella. Why are you splintering off that? We're just Baffa Contact, right? Like, they're Baffa Flag. Like, it seemed to be
So the IOC. Yes, all it is the IOC. So the International Olympic Committee Executive Board proposed that the IFAF be approved by the IOC, which it has been.
All right.
No, actually, it hasn't been yet. It's IFAF has to wait till mid-October when the IOC holds its full session in Mumbai, England, where members will be able to vote on the proposal. So flag football hasn't even been approved yet.
I thought it was. Okay. Anyway, right. Yeah. That'll be interesting then once that changes.
So last summer, NFL and IFAF formed a partnership called Vision 28 to push flag football to be a sport for the 28 Summer Games in Los Angeles. But it's not actually confirmed or anything. They're still going through the motions for it. And at this point in time, we're still 5 years out.
Cool.
So, moving
let's move on to...
let's talk about week 6. Yeah. So we start at the top. So in other words, the top of the country and the top of the top of the people. Yes. Tamworth Phoenix 23.
You're gonna get the league tables up.
Well, I can. I've got it here. I can.
Yeah, do that.
I'm gonna have to tab between screens though. That's the only thing. Let me move this over here.
I can put it up.
No, that's fine. I'm doing it now. Don't worry. Be happy. I'm not going to get us banned for that, am I?
Hey?
I'm not going to get us flagged up for that or some shit, am I? Because copyright infractions.
So like the original that they
100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah. The gravy atop of football. Right.
Just as long as it's not in fucking Yorkshire puddings because they are pointless. Right. Is that as big as they can be?
No, you should be able to magnify your browser.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Don't you worry about that. Right, so Prem North.
Yes.
Yeah, so we had one game from the Prem North this week. It was Tamworth versus EKP.
We had 2.
What was? Oh, no, sorry. We had one on Saturday and then we had one on Sunday.
You're seeing them split.
Yes, sorry, it's because I was looking at Saturday. Yeah, so the first one was on Saturday. It was Tamworth 23, EKP 9. Now you picked EKP to win that one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Oh, fuck off. Okay.
Whatever. You picked EKP. You would have been wrong. So looking at we've now got pretty much everybody's played either 3 or 4 games, and it's starting to shake out there. You know, Manchester at the top. Nothing changes there. I think they're going to win it and they will be undefeated. If flag becomes an Olympic sport, watch how Sport England, British Olympic Association make sure all the funding focus is channeled towards flag. I don't think there'll be that much funding though. There's so many Olympic sports that are underfunded now as it is because Britain doesn't possess medal potential. So they just don't bother putting money into it. So
medal potential.
Medal potential. I don't know. But let's don't give a fuck. Looking at the relegation, are we thinking it's Merseyside? 0 from 4?
Well, this was a huge relegation battle, right?
It was. So the second game,
there was only 6 points in it. So I don't think that's enough to scare Merseyside into thinking that they're relegated, that they're still in it on points difference in their next game. If we say
yes and no.
They lose, both teams lose against everyone else, right?
Yes and no. The thing is, right? So Merseyside, the game that you're talking about was Merseyside versus Leicester. Leicester won 14-8 against Merseyside. That is, and you also picked Merseyside to win that one. So you're 0 for 2.
Whatever. Yeah, but if you look at across the last few weeks, I'm actually
so I can afford to throw a couple of games away, he says. But it's that 8 points that they scored against the 8 points they scored against Leicester is the only 8 points that they've scored all season.
Yeah.
So it's like you're like, oh, it was a close battle between Leicester, but like EKP and Leicester have still managed to put up points in other games, whereas Merseyside haven't. I thought at the beginning of the season that it was going to be between them and Leicester, and I think in the reverse fixture, I think Leicester will seal Merseyside's fate, and we see them go down to Div 1. Manchester's making the playoffs. I don't think anybody takes a game off them unless they fully roll out backups against either Edinburgh or Tamworth.
Yeah. So who takes that? Who takes that second playoff spot?
I'm thinking Edinburgh. I am.
I
am. Is it Edinburgh season? Is it Edinburgh season?
I don't know. The thing is, Tamworth will lull you into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
They're slow starting, but then 23 points at home against East Kilbride doesn't give me a huge amount of confidence.
Well, I wonder if the QB1's still on the sideline.
Right.
At which point, you know what? Fuck it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I want Edinburgh to take it. I want Edinburgh to be that second team. Like, I think it'd be great for Edinburgh to be the second team. Like,
yeah, massive.
Don't get me wrong, they will get the shit kicked out of them by the Warriors.
Whoever comes second has to go away down.
That's what I mean. They'll get the shit kicked out of them by the Warriors.
The longest journey down.
But it's a Bants.
It's like the London Warriors, right? So
yeah, it's the Warriors. It's just going to be a Bants trip though, making the trip from Edinburgh down to London to get the shit kicked out of you. But at least you get to go out. You get to go out on the piss in London, so it's it's all good. And that will scare actually, no, they're from Edinburgh. Prices up in Edinburgh are pretty shocking as well. I was about to say that'll scare them paying London prices, but Edinburgh ain't cheap either, so it doesn't matter. Moving on then.
So really, are you saying that really, as this league lies now, you think that's how it's going to finish the end of the season?
Yeah. I mean, in positional standings, yes. I think we could see maybe Leicester and East Kilbride like trade wins with each other or something. Merseyside might steal one. I don't think they will. And then Edinburgh Tamworth will be interesting. But
as you said, they got an awful points differential, 141 points.
Yeah, mate, it's the thing. It's like even if they win, right, and they manage to tie it up in terms of win-loss, they're staring down the barrel of at least like 100 extra points on the other team. So it's going to be an uphill fucking slog for them. Right. So do we move on to the Scottish division? Is that where we're going next?
No, we could do Prem South.
Oh, right. Okay.
Scroll down. I need to get these reordered.
Yeah, you do. I know you do.
Yeah, it was Dom messing it up. Blame Dom.
Oh, okay. So we had 2 games this week. We had the Aztec and the Blitz.
Terrible.
Somebody chose the Aztec.
I did. I'll still choose them all year. I don't care.
Somebody chose the Blitz.
Whatever. Are you just picking all the game? Have I got every single Prem game wrong so far?
You're 0-3 in the Prem at the moment, yeah. Whatever. And then we both picked. And then we both were not stupid enough to take the Cats against.
Prem's load of shit anyway.
Yeah, we both picked the Warriors in the next one, so that was a foregone conclusion. I
was surprised by the Blitz Aztecs
scoreline
result.
Yeah,
scoreline and result. I thought.
So just for everybody, Blitz played the Aztecs. Blitz beat the Aztecs 28-16. So 2-score game.
Yeah, and that's put the Blitz 4-0 on the year. Top of the table.
Yeah, because they haven't played the Warriors yet, so top of the table.
Yeah. I know, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, no matter how you do, is you get that humbling moment when you play the Warriors.
No, but the thing is, for them, they won't see it as a humbling, because they've always, they've taken games off the Warriors before. Not
for years. Oh, no, actually. There might be a couple recent.
I was going to say, I'd say in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, they've taken a couple off them at least.
Maybe, yeah.
There was the year that they ended up in the final against Tamworth as well, and there was so it's just there's if I'm in the Blitz changing room, I don't think I'm sitting there being like, oh, we're only winless, we haven't lost because we haven't played the Warriors yet. Like, they'll be going into the Warriors game going, we can beat them, we've beat them before.
Yeah, they're doing really well, and it's cool. There'll
be a shit ton of old heads in that Blitz changing room that would have beaten the Warriors before. There will be boys in that Blitz changing room that would have beaten the Warriors before, for sure, for absolute sure. I think the Blitz have got a chip on their shoulder because we came into I don't know if it's personally from us, but I feel like we sort of echo community sentiment where coming into the season, it was no longer the Warriors and the Blitz. Everyone was like, oh, it's the Warriors. And then
well, I was saying Aztecs.
Well, I was saying that the Blitz and the Aztecs were a step down. I was saying the Warriors were a step above. Yeah, and then and then you come down, and then you're at Blitz and Aztecs. Yeah. So I feel like they've got a bit of a chip on their shoulder where they're like, well, there's not a step down. And again, the reverse fixture is going to have to tell us more because this is what the Aztecs' second game. Yeah. So this is still only the second game.
Second game. Yeah, that's right. They won their first one, didn't they?
They won their first one. And I didn't think that really told us much. Their first game last week, it was like, it's only the first game.
Sorry, go on.
I think there's going to be a lot to take away from the reverse fixture of the Blitz and the Aztec. That will be the scoreline that I pay more attention to. Like this one just tells me that the Blitz are a very good team, and the Aztecs could be rusty.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then Cambridge Cats 14, London Warriors 53. The Cats went 8-0 up or 10-0 up or something.
The Warriors always do this. They always start slow. Many times I see the social media. It's like Warriors are 8-0 down. And I'm like, right, okay, well come back to me. Come back to me in 20 minutes. Let me know what the score is in 20.
But Sam Huxtable started as QB for the Cats for the first time this week.
Oh,
so I just thought, that's a bit wanky, just putting him in there because he's playing in a game that you're never going to win, sort of thing, and he's going to get beat up a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know that was. I don't know that was. If they'd have played the Warriors they played another opponent this week. Sorry, would they have started Sam Huxtable? Warriors went 6-0 up. Then the Cats scored and got a 2-pack. Okay, so it's 8-6.
Okay, so it took 8-6. Yeah. Callum O'Connor says the scoreline does not accurately show how that game went.
Yeah.
In what way? Are you saying it was closer than the 53-14, or are you saying that they should have blown you out by more?
I heard there was a lot of afters and fighting and punching and it there wasn't high sportsmanship in the game, sort of thing. It was
Do you get points for afters?
No.
What the fuck are you doing then?
Get flagged. But yeah, I heard there was a lot of flags as well. So,
they're getting ready for the Olympics.
Yeah. But yeah, if anything, I'm surprised that the Cats scored 2 touchdowns. I don't know if they did. They could have got that moved on to
a couple of field goals. Could have been 8-6 and then a couple of field goals.
I imagine they did score another one. I'm sure LL Cool P let us know. But.
So we move to. I'm going to go back up to the NFC Scottish, where, as everybody predicted, so we'll go to we'll touch on the Glasgow game first. So Glasgow Tigers versus Inverclyde Goliath. Glasgow 31, Inverclyde 8. We both picked the Tigers in that one. I don't think it was too much of a surprise. Makes the division interesting there with Highland and Glasgow at the top there.
Both undefeated.
Clyde Valley, I feel like, is propped up a little bit. So second score was a pick 6 for so maybe not accurately represented there because you got lucky. No, actually, there's a lot of talent for a pick 6. I refuse to say that people got lucky with a pick 6. Takes a lot of fucking talent. Good coverage. Well done. I feel like Clyde Valley is being falsely propped up here. You look at them and you go, oh, 3-1, they're doing. You look at it 3-1, you're like, oh, they're doing well. It's like, oh.
This is an interesting thing. I'm just looking at the schedules. So the Highland versus Glasgow game is in 2 weeks' time.
There is a reverse fixture. It's just not on League Republic, and we haven't added it. If you were going to say something about that, because we've talked about this before.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the Glasgow have got 3 games on the bounce. The last one being against Highland, and Highland have got a week off between now and then, having just played Dunfermline. So I think
who do Glasgow play next?
Glasgow play Clyde Valley.
Yeah, so Glasgow's got a week off too.
Third. They play third.
So Glasgow's got a week off as well.
That could have been any team, and you would have said that.
100%. Looking at this division, I definitely would have.
So yeah. Anyway,
I only planned on saying it for Dunfermline, to be honest. Like, if you told me that Dunfermline was playing
back Dunfermline games,
well, Dunfermline back to back playing Highland and then Glasgow.
Yeah. But yeah, so I you know, you could when you're playing the third game on the bounce, and the other teams had a week off, like that's an advantage to the other team. But they are playing at home.
But the other team, the other team also, like Highland. No offense, you know, I'm not even going to bother pulling the punches. Highland played Dunfermline this week. How much did they really play? Like, did they actually fucking do anything? Was it just a training?
66 points to nothing.
No, I know that's what I mean. It was just a training run out. Like, they just went out. They ran their plays and
yeah. Well, so
they're on like they're probably on like 3 weeks rest because this week was not a challenge.
Well, there was no risk of like injury and stuff. It's not really a highly competitive game, is it? So,
well, I think the moment you step on the football field, there's always risk of injury, but there was no risk of losing. There's no risk of Dunfermline scoring. So we both picked the Stags in that one. And there was actually 3 games in Scotland this week. The Clyde Valley Blackhawks played the Aberdeen Roughnecks.
Yeah,
and Clyde Valley beat them 14-8. So I
pick them?
We both picked the Roughnecks.
I'm having a bad week.
Mate. You are 2-4 at the moment.
So
you'll bounce back.
I'll bounce back.
But this is sort of like, this is what I want to point to, though, why I don't think anybody outside of Highland and the only rain that would have been Darlington would have been raining Yorkshire Rams touchdowns.
Yeah, well, that's something to talk about because Darlington are being called out online about postponing their game due to a waterlogged pitch, and people have been posting like the weather report saying it didn't rain. Like, weather's been okay,
dude. I live up the road from Darlington. Weather's been great.
Has it? Go! We should have sent you there on Sunday. Yesterday,
mate. I could. Yeah, if you texted me,
go and take Sunday, a picture of the ground.
I could have gone. Mate, I'm like probably 25 minutes, half an hour drive from Darlington.
Oh, no way. Okay.
And we had like Saturday was a scorcher. So even if there was waterlog, it would have dried it out. Like if someone had flooded the pitch on Friday, Saturday would have dried it out because it was a beautiful day. And then Sunday, it was sunny for half the day. And then there was like spitting rain for like the afternoon.
Maybe a water pipe burst. And then that's where
it wasn't. Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't the sky. There's no way that it was rain logged.
Yeah. So that one's been quite interesting, but yeah,
We'll touch on that in a second, but it's just, this is what I'm talking about, how I feel like the 3-1 isn't accurately representative of Clyde Valley being that much better than the rest of the division. Because, you know, they played the Aberdeen Roughnecks, who are 0-3, and they beat them by 6 points. They beat them 14 points to 8. I feel like the 3-1 that they're showing is a little bit false.
Okay.
And I, you know, it's...
What do you think so end of the season, what do you think their record will be then? 10 games. Are they 10 games? Yeah, 10 games Division 1, isn't it?
10 games. So we'll say 5-5.
Okay.
Because I think they'll take 4 losses to Highland and Glasgow each time.
Tony is saying Highland played a lot of backups. You can imagine,
and still beat them 66-0.
Dunfermline, they're you know, they needed a couple more years in Div 2.
In Div none.
Right. Let's move on,
because that's how many points you've scored in 2 years.
Let's move on to the NFC One Central.
All right. I'm getting.
So that was where. So there was 2 games.
2 games. That was the Yorkshire Darlington game.
And the Houghton, Spartans versus the Lancashire Wolverines. 1-0 walkover. The other game was a waterlogged. Well, and a controversially.
So what is the official call of that game? Is it a forfeit, or is it a reschedule?
Yeah, it's of the Darlington Steam.
Yeah, the Steam. What's the official communication on the Steam Rams game?
I don't know. But I can look. Let me just have a little look around and see if there's anything on League Republic about.
So Ryan's asked, why were the Stags D2 last year? I think because they just come up from associate. Is what I remember. They're a newly forged club. Because did they take over from the Highland Stags? What took over from the Trojans?
No, that was in Inverclyde.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Tony's mentioned that they hadn't got promoted. Yeah. They a new club. I think they only came up from associate in the last couple of years, but I can't remember what the creation of them were because they haven't been around for too long. There we go. Tom just saying last year was the first year, and they're just fucking burying everybody else in Scotland apart from.
The game is officially postponed.
Okay.
I need to get the party line from Darlington, but I'm fairly sure Waterlog Pitch was what it was. Was what was said.
Waterlog Pitch with the tears of their players as they were preparing to face Yorkshire.
It doesn't look good, does it? You know, top team versus bottom team, and that's the problem that people.
That's it. That's 100% what it is. Top team versus bottom team, and you're averaging almost 60 points against per game, and you're like, the pitch isn't fit for use.
I'm just trying.
And that's the thing. So, oh my mate, this would have been an absolute.
They did loads of posts yesterday online about their players.
Steve, this would have been an absolute drubbing. Yorkshire hasn't conceded a point yet, and Darlington hasn't scored one.
Yeah, it's only 2-3 games in.
This would have been a hide.
3 days ago they posted this.
What, the pitch is waterlogged?
Yeah, due to a very severely waterlogged and damaged pitch, our home game against Yorkshire Rams has had to be postponed. An update will be posted shortly once we confirm the rescheduled date.
Mate, we had beautiful weather on the Saturday. Friday was a bit grey and a bit rainy. I was over in the lakes, I was over Cumbria way on Friday for work. But the Saturday game was like a Saturday day, like the whole day was just scorcher. It was like 19 degrees, sunny the whole time.
There's been a lot of people calling them out in their comments actually.
Yeah,
that.
It would have been time.
And it's only Friday. How can you? What?
Mate, plenty of time for it to dry out. Plenty of time for it to dry out.
Yeah. So I don't know. But,
this division is kind of what we
face value, right? Like,
yeah, this division is kind of playing out how we thought it would, with the only wild cards at the moment being Scunthorpe and Lancashire. Like I looked at this division, I went, yep, Yorkshire and Northumberland will finish at the top. Halton and Darlington will finish at the bottom. And then it's what happens with Lancashire.
They're going to finish at the bottom because they're playing no games.
Well, yeah, but no, but this was before they'd folded. They hadn't folded when we predicted it. They hadn't folded.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's Scunthorpe and Lancashire. It's like how well do they fare against each other, and how well do they survive against Northumberland and Yorkshire? Yeah. And I think to start with, Scunthorpe fared fairly well against Northumberland in their previous outings. So it's going to be interesting. But Scottish Div 1 shouldn't have happened because it only happened because of geography. So
it will change next year. There'll be some other because it gives them a headache next year with.
Plus, because you'd assume if EKP doesn't come down and the Highlands get promoted, like what happens then? Does it just become a 5-team div, or if if Glasgow gets promoted,
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, but they'd have to stop the relegation. Dunfermline Kings.
Oh shit! Yeah, they definitely.
that might even seal their fate. Like
no, that might just stop either Highland or Glasgow getting promoted. Like the guaranteed relegation of Dunfermline.
Oh, that would be funny.
You'd
be playing it, but you're not going to the Prem. Someone else.
So, sorry, you're not going to the Prem. Someone's going to Div 2. What? So make our way a little bit south then to the NFC, the NFC One South.
Yeah, I get really excited about.
I was going to say you get sort of semi chub for this.
Honestly, brilliant division. This one or conference, should I call it NFC?
A conference. Yeah. I suppose. Yeah,
it's not a division.
So
we reversed the terminology in the UK. In the US, obviously they've got the NFC and AFC, and then it's divisions. Ours is the other way around.
So we've
Prem, Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, and then conferences.
So we've started it here with the Romans and the Samuel Steelers. So the Romans
I was not expecting this scoreline.
Clobbered them 60 points to 6.
Samuel,
we both picked
Samuel's last good game was like when they played the Thrashers in the final
2 years ago.
4 years ago, 2019. That was.
Jesus.
And they're a different team now. And it's a rebuild for them, but it's a rebuild with a relegation.
It's a painful rebuild.
But I'm also extremely surprised in this division to see freshly relegated Sheffield Giants 0-3. I thought they'd be contenders, and we don't know that they're not, but they're not looking so good.
They're not showing it at the moment. Yeah,
someone needs to tell them.
You're supposed to be contenders. And then Nottingham continues their march at the top.
I love
with a 20-0 victory.
I'm telling you,
Bulls.
They're the next big team to charge up into the Premiership. North.
Next,
and they'll stay there and they'll compete there for a long time.
So Nottingham are gonna push Merseyside out and are going to be fighting with sort of EKP and Leicester for relegation next year.
Yeah.
Is that your thoughts?
I don't think they'll get relegated. I reckon they'll stay up. They're just going to get stronger and stronger. They're the next team to like blossom in Northern Britball.
Because it was Manchester a few years ago, and then are you just saying that they're sort of taking the flag from Manchester?
Yeah, I would say Merseyside were also a surprise package around the same time as Manchester. Like they were,
they were a couple of years earlier. They were sort of 2014.
Yeah, and I think Nottingham. I can't think of another team up north that have done anything like what Manchester have done, and I'd say Nottingham are sort of the next thing.
Mm. So Thomas just said, didn't the Steelers return the opening kickoff for a TD and then have 60 put on them? Well, at least the special teams coach is happy.
There's been a couple of opening kickoff for TDs this weekend in the women's game. In one of the women's games, should I say? The Warriors, they returned the opening kickoff for a TD as well.
Yeah, so Anthony's just said that's exactly what happened. Return the opening kickoff for a TD and then he didn't do a fucking thing since.
Mate, imagine the elation that team would have felt.
That returner is walking around at training with Billy Big Bollocks. What the fuck did you guys do? I did everything.
I've scored all of our points this season.
Yeah. We're at week 7. I've scored all of our points. We've only played one game, mate. Shut up.
Doesn't matter.
Blame Baffa. It's Baffa scheduling. I've done all I can. What have you done?
Talking about the Nottingham Caesars, we didn't talk about the score. 20-0 over the Birmingham Bulls. I was surprised by that. A shutout win against the Bulls is a good result for them.
Well, they played them
another
was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago they played them, and it was sort of a comfortable point of victory, I think, but it wasn't anything that made you go, oh wow.
Yeah.
Or maybe they haven't played them at all, and I'm just completely talking out my ass.
You could be.
I think I am. Wouldn't be a shock. I generally tend to do it on the regular.
The talent of the Nottingham Caesars team is incredible. Yeah. Their kicker is a gun. Have you ever heard that phrase? Is that
it means he's got a big old leg. He's accurate shooter.
Cannon?
Well, that's an arm, isn't it? Your cannon's your arm.
Can get him, yeah. They were a young side who will improve this season, but it'll be a tough year in this division.
I'm assuming he's still talking about the Steelers. Is my assumption. Yeah. It is going to be a tough season, and they're going to be fighting with the Giants for relegation.
I don't know. I don't know that I think the Giants crawl out of there. But then you think, well, who fucking replaces them?
Are both of those teams coming down from the Prem?
No, only one. Only the Giants.
Okay, so the Steelers years ago, did they? They got relegated last. Okay, cool. But these are the two most recently relegated teams in the Prem.
I think so. I can't fucking remember. Let me have a look at the Steelers.
I feel like
our website, Gridiron Hub One, tells you everything about every season. Yeah, they were Prem North.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought both them and Sheffield were Prem teams last year.
Yeah, they were.
So they're both freshly relegated, and they're struggling.
Yeah, I'm looking at the league table from the end of last year, and it's Sheffield Giants 5th, Sam Steelers 6th, just like you can see.
Yeah. Because EKP and Leicester went up. As Anthony's just said, I was going to say there was 2 Div 1 teams that went up because there was 2 that came down. So the 2 freshly relegated teams are fighting for relegation to Div 2.
Yeah, cool. There must have been some sort of.
There's got to be something going on there behind the scenes.
There must have been like a voluntary thing, and then they, Anyway, but yeah, cool. Okay.
Moving on to the SFC Central, we see the Hornets, and
well, they had a shutout, but quite a big win against the Spartans. I got it here now, 54-0.
Yeah, we both picked this it to be a long day for the Spartans. Yeah. And it was 50. Like this is a lost season for Essex. Unfortunately, they're going to have to recoup in Div 2 next year. Because I do not see any way out of the basement for them. Unfortunately,
no. Okay, move on. SFC One West.
No.
You want to talk about? Sorry.
It was more. I was sort of curious as to what it means for the rest of the division. Still thinking the Hornets are the team, sort of like, because you love the O's.
Like, I love the O's, and I also like the Stallions. I think they're both very good teams.
So how are you thinking?
Again? We need to see. I always the whole thing of like,
mate, Hornets have played 5 games. Hornets are halfway through their season.
Yeah, and they've got a 0.8 record win percentage.
Yeah, they're 4-1. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you, just looking at this, do you see, does this game tell you anything for the rest of the season, or is it just they played Essex and move on?
Yeah, you can't really. No.
Do you take anything away from this victory, like putting 50 on them? Like as an outsider looking in?
Not for the Hornets. They did what they were supposed to do.
Okay.
I think Essex, it's a really bleak picture for them, as you've articulated.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a massive shame for them. But yeah, this is the point where Essex will, that 54-0 loss and that confirming an 0-4 record is probably a thing that we'll see players leaving the Essex Spartans, like, because you get those flaky players that don't want to sit and fight, and they're like, right, we're done. I'm done. I'm not playing. Or they transfer.
Right.
Like we're still in transfer season, aren't we? So you'll have players leaving the
there is a deadline for it, isn't there?
Oh yeah. Why does it say the Olympians are 2-1? Let me have a look at that.
They're supposed to be 2-0. They've only played 2 games. They played Essex and Norwich.
Yeah, Freddie, I don't know why. So based on that, O should be top.
This is record. So it should be the O's at the top at 2-0, and then and that's why I was sort of curious as to, because the O's beat the Devils and beat the Spartans. They haven't really played anybody, like, in terms of the other teams at their level. Like, they haven't played the Stallions, they haven't played the Blitz B, and they haven't played the Hornets.
Oh yeah, we've got a weird result. Yeah, I need to remove it. I thought I fixed this the other day, but yeah, sorry, we've got a result for week 17.
Oh, it's got a score in there, 16-6.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there, so that's my fault.
So does that also come off of the Hornets as well? So they drop down to having played 4 games. Yeah. So they'll be at 3-1 with 4 games.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I'll fix that. That's my fault.
We'll go to the SFC West then, and the first game that we had there was Rushmore playing South Wales. Rushmore beat them, but only just 21-14.
I was right. That's all that matters. You were wrong.
No, we both picked Rushmore. There's no way I was picking South. Yeah, there's no way I was picking South Wales. There's no way I was picking South Wales.
Yeah. Well, again, just points to how tight this league is. Apart from Oxford, unfortunately.
I thought you said Oxford were good, mate.
I like them. I watched them yesterday. Because I was on the camera, so I didn't know the score until at the end of the game. I think I must have seen it at half time, but
I was really shocked by the scoreline of the game yesterday. I didn't think that it was that one-sided.
We'll touch on that in a second. South Wales, losing record, but positive in the point. No, they're not. They're down minus 30 in the points differential, but they, I think they had one blowout loss and two close losses, or a close win, a blowout loss, and a close loss is what they've had. Sorry.
Fingers crossed for me. Oxford beat South Wales twice and stay up. Block field goal attempt with 1:50 on the clock. I went down the pitch and the rookie punched it in. Rookie is their running back. He's not a rookie. He just gets called it.
Is this for Hertfordshire? For Rushmore to take the win over. Yeah. So it was. Are we talking like that was an even game for the majority of it, or 1 point game? Because if it was 14 to 14, 21,
well,
14.
You don't know if they could have just kicked the extra points on a fucking on a touchdown, right? So
I don't know. But yeah, close, very close. And then in the other games in that division, we had Hertfordshire.
Hatch scored an extra point.
Oh, did he?
He kicked it. Yeah, it's the first points he's ever scored in his life.
Good on him.
So just
good man. Hertfordshire beat the Apache 9-0.
Yeah,
that's a little bit closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it would be massively different, but I thought that there would be more than 9, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't really think about that before. You would have expected more points in the game, and
even from both teams.
From both
teams, great work on the defensive side from Hertfordshire, but I would have expected more points in that game from both teams.
Yeah.
You actually picked Oxford to win this game. Against the Bobcats, and they lost. And they lost quite convincingly. It was 51-14 to Bournemouth.
You can't take anything away. I'm not trying to take anything away from Bournemouth. I just find because we're doing so much live streaming for Oxford, I find myself like backing them and wanting them to win and cheering when they do well. And they did go ahead at one point in the game, but Oxford, but Bournemouth
must have been pretty early on.
It was. It was really exciting at that point, but I feel like I was on the Oxford sideline. It just like heads dropped too quickly there. Like rather than thinking I'm going to go and grab this fucking game by the scruff of the neck, they're sort of like, you can see a lot of them like moping and stuff. But
heads dropped and the everybody just sort of stopped caring after.
But the defense, that doesn't tell the story of how good it was. The thing that Oxford are lacking is the offense being able to put drives together. They're doing too many three and outs
to keep the defense off the field, let them get a breather.
Their defense are probably one of the better the defenses in that division. Really, really good defense. But you can't, no matter who you are, you can't just be on the field all game. Eventually, you're going to start letting points in.
You get gassed.
Need to balance it out. They need to start scoring. The defense scored all of Oxford's points.
Mate, that's one of the things I hated most as a defensive player, right? If you manage to hold someone to even like a field goal or a long drive, and then you just get off the field, no points given up, you're just having your water, and all you hear is defense, lids on, and you're like, what?
No, that happened a few times, and then it was also they would also they were in the red zone or within 30 yards, so just short field. And that but like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Bobcat. The Bobcats played really well. They're a good, solid side. This is another league a conference that I really, really like.
So the Bobcats had that one close loss against South Wales, right? They had that one rough loss against South Wales where they lost by, I think it was 6 points or 2 points or something like that.
Yeah.
Both other games they've played, they've put up 50.
Yeah.
So
they got a good high scoring offense.
So what do we think that means for the rest of this division?
I don't know, and that's what I love about it. I don't know. I honestly, there's so many.
Who's going down?
Combinations. Sorry,
who's going down? Oxford's going down.
I'm going to say South Wales.
South Wales is going down.
Yeah.
Whoo! South Wales that beat Bournemouth.
Yeah. I think that was
same
a one-off.
Bournemouth, that same Bournemouth team that just put 50 on the Oxford Saints.
Well, how many did Bournemouth put on South Wales?
Like 6.
Yeah. So Bournemouth had an off day.
Or South Wales just amazing defense.
Nah. Bournemouth had an off day. I'm not giving South Wales any credit.
Okay.
And yeah,
your website is crediting them with a win over Bournemouth.
I must admit, this is more like wishful thinking and a bias, right? Like I would love it.
I was going to say,
if the Oxford Saints stayed up this year, I'd be really, really pleased.
Cheetahs away to Bobcat. That was my next thing I was going to say, right?
Yeah.
We saw the Bobcats went nuclear on Rushmore, put 50 on them.
Hold on. We're talking about next week. Let's not do that yet.
Yeah, not yet, Russ. Get back in your box.
Go away, Russ.
These damn tankers, man. So that was, so you picked the Oxford wrongly, and we both picked the Cheetahs. So we move on to the next division.
Yeah.
And it takes us to the NFC 2.
Oh, fuck. Well, is there any point? It's the most pointless division.
It's just...
And Humber are going to climb out of it, and then the rest of those teams. I like the Raiders. Look where the Raiders are. I told you about them.
Yeah. Well, it's the Raiders. You mean the Raiders that played DC twice? Do you mean them?
Don't matter. Look at
the Raiders the Raiders that played the Presidents back-to-back games. Do you mean those Raiders?
Yeah. But yeah, 61-0. So that I'm sort of happy with that scoreline. Gateshead doing what we expect them for once, because
that was
so far this season they haven't.
That's what I wanted to talk about, right? Because Wakefield played DC back-to-back times and put like 24, 25 points up each time, beat them by 2 scores. It was comfortable, but nothing spectacular. Yeah. Then Wakefield played Gateshead and they drew, and I went, what the hell's going on here? And then Gateshead comes out and plays DC and absolutely kicks the shit out of them. And like you say, 61-0.
Yeah, so that might give them a little bit of momentum now, a bit more positivity, and and we might start seeing results that we expect. High scoring games. Like they should be scoring. I would say
they should be up with
Humber. I was expecting 40s and 50s in every game that they play this year.
I was thinking they should be up with Humber, not chilling where they are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who goes down, DC or Donny?
DC.
Well, actually, you can't go down. It's NFC.
You can't go down. Yeah,
who gets made associate, DC or Donny?
It would be so good if they did that, and they had a playoff between an associate team and that team. If they
100%. Yeah. Fuck it. Anyway. I don't like this. I don't like this. Play your 4 minimum games and you qualify for the league. It should be you have to verse the worst league team, and whichever one of you wins, like there you go. Do you want to know that you picked the Surge?
I didn't pick the Surge.
You did, because I picked the Revs. I picked the Revs. Yes. Play the take back. I picked the Revs, and you're like, fine, I'll pick the Surge.
Oh, right. Yeah. I would have definitely backed the Surge, the Revs.
I know, and you did. You did back the Surge.
Fuck off. You know what I was saying. But you can't gloat over a 1-point win anyway.
No, because I had no idea. Like it was literally. I've got no idea. I'll pick the Revs. I had no clue.
This is a great result. This is I don't mean the win. I just mean the competitiveness of that league.
At this point in time,
obviously slugging it out, and there just being the slightest margin of victory for one of them.
Like there had been so few games played in this division, I had no idea what was going to happen. At the time, both the Surge and the Revs had played one game apiece. And I was like,
and crew. So most of the league had played one game.
Yeah. So no, there's no way in hell I can sit and be like, I knew the Revs were going to it was a 1-point game. No, it was just we both looked at it and you went, you take one, I'll take the other, and I got lucky. It's all it was. Don't worry.
Really looking forward to the reverse fixture. Like this
100%. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams stack up against Lee as well. How do these guys stack up against Lee?
We were down 22-24 with 20 seconds left on the clock. Got a 70-yard drive and then a field goal.
Go on the Revs. There we go.
Wow.
There we go. They'll field goal to win it after being down all game.
A 70-yard drive with 20 seconds. That's surely just 2 plays to do that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
20 seconds to go. That's not a drive.
What is it? You're driving the field 70 yards.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
No, but you think about it. But the thing is, you can get if you've still got all your timeouts and you use the sideline well, you can drive the field in 20 seconds. in more than 2 plays.
Yeah.
But that also just speaks to what we thought about this division, where we had no fucking idea. The fact that the Surge were winning for 98% of the game, and then the Revs like kept it close and then came back.
Yeah,
so
wow. Yeah, just awesome. Like terrible way to lose the game, awesome way to win it, but then also it looks good to have your top teams competing that much against each other is awesome.
Yeah, and then you look at the Miners there as well. Can't wait to see them like in their next game. There's a lot to be excited about from a Div 2 perspective for this division.
Yes.
We make our way down to the final 2 games there, and they are in.
Give me 2 secs. I'll be back in a sec.
Wow.
2 secs. I said so. Give me 2 secs.
All right, 1, 2, and he's not back. He's run away on me. The final 2 games that we had for this week is we had the who were they? We had the Cardinals. Yes, Ipswich Cardinals play the Sussex Thunder. Ipswich goes and moves to 3-1 with a 21-12 victory over the Sussex Thunder. Both Steve and I picked the Cardinals in this one just because I think it's going to be a long season for Sussex. I just it's not going well for them. East Essex also, actually, things not going too well for them either. But another sort of tough loss there for the Thunder, and I've got no pity for you, because last week or 2 weeks ago, sorry, I mentioned about how I didn't think you were good enough to put any more points on Colchester, and then you came out, played them in a reverse fixture, and it was the exact same scoreline. So as it stood there, it's an interesting division, but the bottom of it is kind of painful. And I don't know what's going on for East Essex. Like East Essex came into this season. I don't know if they were undefeated for last year, but they won at least 7 games last year. I remember, like they were smashing it. So it's just not ideal for them. Are you back, Steve? You are.
You want?
I was just saying the first game there was the 20-6 scoreline between
21-12.
21-12. Sorry, I was looking at different. Brain went mush. 21-12. Cardinals over the Thunder, and Thunder dropped 4-0. 0-4.
It says 0-3 on there. Are they 0-4 now?
Yeah, no, it's 0-3. I'm just talking shit. I just want them to be 0-4 because I don't think they're very good.
Relegated to associate.
Yeah, 100%. Send them out of here. Send them out of here. What happened with Colchester East Kent?
They drew 0-0.
Like legitimately played a full game. Oh, I thought the game got cancelled or something. That was a legitimate 0-0 draw.
Full-time result. Like the actual result of the game. Final score.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say for a 0-0. It's just like it could have been a good game. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't feel like I know much. Although what you've got is the 2 top teams in the division again competing against each other
and scoring no points.
But they still remain undefeated.
Yeah, but they're scoring no points.
I know. Glad's D had 5 turnovers, lots of flags, but it was a good game.
Like,
remembering seeing a 3-2 at uni.
Mate, that is something else. 0-0. Wow.
0-0, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it. You see people saying there was lots of turnovers, lots of flags, but
mate, I want to know what's happening with East Essex, right? Because East Essex went 8-0 last season. Oh my God, the Glads hit the post with the last second field goal. No. They needed to get the Steelers kicker. He's a gun.
A gun.
He's a gun. What's happening with East Essex, mate? 0-3 to start the season. They went 8-0 last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lost in the playoffs.
Is it plausible that they have lost players to East Kent?
How close is East Essex to East Kent in terms of?
I don't know. That's why I was sort of floating it out there because I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like they're a whole county apart. Like I would have thought East Essex would lose players to Essex, but Essex is bad too. Where are these people going? Like,
Is that unbelievable D play all game or poorly or
Play
unbelievable
or poorly or poor O play all game? Both. Yeah. A bit of both.
Although, if it was great D play, surely the D would have scored. You know, like.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like if your D is spectacular, they get turnover. They force turnovers.
It can't be spectacular. You just did enough to them not to score.
Yeah, it does. It definitely sounds more like O ineptitude than D domination.
So Chris has said the squad looks smaller than last season, but none of them are at the Mavs. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe there's some toxic masculinity. I just meant toxic behaviour, but I thought.
Oh right, okay. I wondered we South End
and Canterbury. South End.
Yeah, that's where. That's where. Wait, South End is in.
Is there a South End?
It's in Essex. No. So that would be the East Essex Sabres. Would be South End.
Is it
East Essex? Because north, east, fucking South End is where the Sabres will be, and then Canterbury is fucking a while from South End. Like I get there like bordering counties in a way, but I
forgot to say this. I forgot to say to you, someone from the Sussex Thunder, I think it was, messaged us in the week saying they're happy to come on and talk about
how badly their team's doing.
Because we've obviously
me, predominantly me.
Yeah, giving them some stick, and he was like, we're changing things around and things, and I didn't respond to him. I was like, we don't have time for guests on the show. Anyway, but
we take 2 hours.
I'm messaging back saying, send me like your points and we'll talk about them.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can pitch the Sussex Thunder side because I know that you've got a slight affinity with the team and you can be unbiased.
I don't have an affinity with the Sussex Thunder.
Well, you know some of the guys who've played there or some shit. I don't know. You had Ian Ellis on one of your shows and you guys had a good year and he said he was going to go undefeated and then the team fucking folded. So you've got.
That doesn't mean I've got any relationship with the Thunder.
You've got a bond.
Ian Ellis used to be my defensive coordinator. Used to be the defensive coordinator for the team I played for.
Oh, see, now you hate them because they ousted him, and that's why you hope they lose every game. No, I don't know. I'm just grasping. I'm grasping.
I think they've got. I just said this last week. I think that Sussex team, they should be called the Brighton Thunder. First of all, they're in Brighton.
Isn't Brighton in Sussex
a great catchment area to be able to draw on universities, on just on different regions in that area? They should be a fantastic club.
Isn't Brighton in Sussex?
Fine. Sorry,
Brighton, isn't it in Sussex?
Yeah, but like when I think of Sussex, I think like just south of London, not the coast.
Why?
Because that's typically where people who say they're from Sussex live.
When I think of Sussex, I definitely think of. I don't know any other towns in Sussex apart from Brighton.
Don't you? Oh, right. There's lots.
I'm assuming so because there's a lot of towns in Britain. I just don't know where any of them are.
I think Brighton's a big enough name for a city to stand up on its own. Like it's known, it's recognised. Okay. It's an iconic city in the UK. Like,
does it have a cathedral?
Oh, are you telling me that because the cathedral is not a city? I don't know if it's an actual city. Exactly what I'm Probably saying. Not. I don't.
It's a town. It's an iconic town.
It's a
seaside hamlet.
Right.
Are you Googling Brighton Cathedral?
Oh, I'm just going to see how big the fucking place is.
Oh. How many people live in Brighton?
That's what I'm just looking for. 277,000 people.
That's all right. It's a decent sized town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thunder have moved.
Like I said, it's in a good area.
So the Thunder have moved, and the Lee Miners are going to change the name to the Greater Manchester Miners.
Oh,
because Ryan's taking the piss. Come on, we've had
Ryan
as.
I don't even listen. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, the only input we ever get from the Miners is about the Miners is from Ryan. But Chris has mentioned that the Thunder have moved, so they're no longer in Brighton. So
where are they?
I don't know. Somewhere else. Probably somewhere else in Sussex. You said there's heaps of towns in Sussex. They can be in any one of them.
They might be in Hove.
So 2,700 mate, and the fucking rest.
Right. Loads of old people there.
And the rest. Right, should we move? What do you want? Do you want to talk about your second topic?
Nah,
don't care.
Another time. I want to go
into the
bed.
into
I
the
don't want to go
previews.
to bed. I just want to do nothing with my night.
Have you finished? Have you finished
Yellowstone
yet? Yellowstone yet?
Yeah.
You have.
We can't talk about it.
Oh, we can't. What?
Because we can't ruin it for people.
Right. Don't let my probation officer hear you say that his only input is about minors.
Oh. Right, let's go back to this view.
He's going to get us cancelled. Right. So, next week, week 7. We're into week 7 already.
Week 7.
7. Nil. Why are you making me sound so freaking?
Well, it's all the same to me, mate. You Southern Hemisphere honkies.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I live. Of course, I know.
Okay, cool. Just as long as
that's why I think it's funny.
Okay, I mean,
right. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah. So the North. Leicester plays Manchester.
Yeah, I mean, Manchester.
What are we doing? Yeah, Manchester.
My comment will get you can. No, I can do it myself.
Spicy game this week though. Edinburgh plays Tamworth.
Oh yeah, that is spicy.
That is spicy, isn't it?
Oh, and it's in Edinburgh. I'm going Edinburgh.
Yeah, I was going to say we've just been talking about how they're Yeah,
we think we're going to go number 2, but I don't know. Yeah, you can say all you want, but when the game's in front of you,
chips are down, you've got to pick it. That's the thing.
Wolves and look at Tony trying to push for Wolves being a game of the week. I don't pick them. The Breens pick the game of the week. Actually, probably I think a couple of them are watching.
Well, yeah, we have our own sort of like
the Rottingdean Thunder sound.
The Rottingdean Thunder.
Yeah. Well, then that's what you happen with the Knights. They would find another Rushmore. No one knows what Rushmore is.
What the fuck is Rushmore?
Tiny little council that in that area.
Oh.
So, but yeah. Anyway, the Breens might post up and say what the game of the week. Usually they do tell me on a Monday, but it's not me that picks it.
Manchester metropolitan area miners. That's what
MMU Eagles, haven't we already?
Have we? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's for a university, Manchester Metropolitan.
Oh, okay. So we've got 3 Prem South games this week. All 3 Prem South teams are playing.
Yeah, and we're live streaming one of those games.
So we've got. Well, we'll start with the Warriors Thrashers.
Yeah, I've got to go Warriors.
Yeah,
I've got to go Warriors.
I'd already plugged it in for both of us. I wasn't even.
It's like Manchester, isn't it? It's like default win.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the playoffs, sort of thing.
We'll see you when you play. Yeah, yeah.
When you play each other in the final.
It might be spicy. It might be spicy when they play the Blitz, but I'm still going to pick the Warriors. Like until they lose, I'm not going to read.
When the Warriors play the Aztecs, I'll pick the Aztecs.
I was going to say you picking the Aztecs when they play. Yeah, cool. I'll take the free win.
Default. But that's more heart over head, right?
That's cool. I'll take the free win. You can rationalize it however the fuck you want. I'm taking the free green spot. Right. So we got the Blitz versus the Cats.
I go Blitz.
It's Huck's at QB.
I love him. And he's fantastic, but I still go Blitz.
Yeah, I'm taking the Blitz as well. Like I don't care who's at QB. I'm taking the Blitz. Aztecs, Kent Exiles.
Aztecs. And that's the game we're going to live stream this week.
This is chalk for me. I feel like at the moment we're in lockstep. We're 5 for 5 through the Prem.
Boo.
Right. Do we need to?
No. We'll have our differences.
Boo Lightning. Right. Do we need to spice it up a little bit?
Okay, right, so let's move on.
We go to Scotland.
Scottish Prem?
Yeah. Well, Scottish Div 1. We got Clyde Valley versus Glasgow. Undefeated versus 3-1.
I'll go undefeated.
Yeah. I told you, man. No offense to Clyde. Yeah, I know, right? The 3-1 Clyde Valley Blackhawks. Told you, man. They're posers. Yeah, I'm taking the Tigers as well.
Yeah,
the Tigers as well.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Next division. Oh, you haven't got these broken down for divisions for the game.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
What? Yeah. What? If you look at the homepage and the right-hand panel.
Oh right, okay. I was on the fixtures panel, and they weren't broken down per division.
They should be. Okay,
but they're not.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not like it's your website.
Nah. Well, and that's the whole point. It is like it is my website.
Okay, so
you shouldn't either.
Is it a home game? Is it what means home game? Top or bottom?
Top is home.
Right. Do we get to see Scunthorpe play this week then?
Well, I don't know because Darlington may still be underwater.
Waterlogged. Yeah. What you didn't know actually.
If the game, I've been sent a couple of memes actually from the Breens about that.
What you know actually before starring in Yellowstone, Kevin Costner actually went out to Darlington and filmed a movie on their
Waterworld. I got a little claim to fame with Waterworld.
Yeah.
It's very tedious link, but my best friend in America, his stepbrother was the special effects guy on Waterworld.
Oh,
so, he did loads of films, like he did Inspector Gadget and stuff. But Waterworld was known at the time
the biggest budget
ever for special effects because it wasn't CGI. They made everything. Like he rigged up jet skis to work. To be able to work so that they could be underwater and then be released and fucking. And
it was one of the biggest flops of all time.
Like I know.
Budget spent and money received back.
Yeah. So when I actually like the film Waterworld, I'm one of the
so Darlington have 2 pitches booked just in case per Darlington head coach.
Nice. Okay.
Well, that's good because they're both in the same fucking city. So you'd assume if one of them's waterlogged, the other one probably is too because it's the same weather.
One's on a hill.
Yeah, one plays downhill. Home gets to play at the top of the hill.
What's the worst pitch you played on? I don't mean location. Describe the worst pitch you've played on.
Worst pitch I've played on is in rugby. Like football wise, I haven't played on too many bad ones.
I was going to say I actually have played on actually on a farm, actually on a fucking like a slant, and we had to chase the cows off of it, and there was cow shit everywhere, and I got tackled into a cow pat and it went all on my chest and it stank the whole game.
Some of the ones in New Zealand, like when you have preseason, so for us, like preseason, you would essentially just find some fucking random country rugby club out in the Wops and you'd book a preseason game with them because you beat
the Wops.
They're the Wops.
What's that?
The boonies. The
what are you saying?
Like out in the fucking like somewhere between butt fuck and you got a pretty mouth. Like
like we would say out in the sticks in a more remote location.
Yeah. We say the wop wops.
The wop wops.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, what does sticks mean?
Sticks, as in like woods and trees and out in the
as in like the river Styx where you went to hell when you went with the ferryman for the river Styx and you had to take your golden crown and go see Hades.
No. As in like trees.
Okay, we didn't play in a forest. We
played in a wop wop, did you?
Yeah, we played in the wop wops. Mate, I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. This is just words you learn as you grow up. Like
and never question.
No, you never question.
These are the wop wops.
It's
cool. Yeah,
it's just you just get out. You just get out there and you're like, where are we going? It's like, somewhere out in the wop wops, and you're like, what are the wop wops? And you're like, fucking out there where no one lives, and it's just farms but as a kid you don't question. It's just words that your parents use and everybody else uses, and then everybody pretends to know what it means, but then when you actually get queried on it you panic and you're like,
how do you spell wop wops?
Fuck me.
Is it W-A-P or W-O-P?
No. I'd say it would be like W-H-O-P. So it's like whop.
Oh, a whop.
Yeah, whop. Cool whop. Jack Kate Centre had cars burnt out the end zone, kids riding motorbikes through the game in the mid-80s. Is that where it's where Middle Earth is.
Jack Kane Centre, that's awesome.
Where's that?
It must be in Scotland. I've heard of that there was a team that took a bus to Scotland. This is years ago, and then they were playing one of the Scottish teams. I don't know which one, and their coach got firebombed.
Jesus.
They literally blew it up. Like,
yeah. Worst I played on is they mowed the paddock about an hour before we played, and it was like a
freshly cut grass. That sounds lovely.
No, it wasn't like grass. It was like fucking like wheat or corn or some shit like that. and then they got the fucking like the lines had like a stack of shoes in the corner to show where the corner posts were and things like that. Like we turned up and they were still trying to, like, it was like you're playing on a school backfield. Like,
how does that happen though? Like, I don't know.
Because we scheduled the preseason game with them about 3 days in advance. Like our club treasure, because we were like the Div 3 social team as well. So we don't usually have preseason. We're like, we want to have a run round. We'll get hold of a fucking team out in Darfield. And it's in
the what wops?
In the what wops, yeah.
What was the other one you said? You said what wops, and then you said
the boonies. The boonies is more of an American term, but it's like
I've never heard that.
But we went to a town that had a population of like I think there was about like 450 people or something population, and they had one rugby team. So we went out there, and it was just like their rugby team.
How much did they beat you by?
No, it was a quite even game. I think we lost by about 40. They murdered us. They were all because they were all serious Div 1 players, like that had come from other clubs and had moved home and shit. We got fucking slaughtered. Worst pitch I've ever played on the UK was in Southampton, and it had pissed with rain all week, and then it pissed with rain during the game, and I got my foot stuck in about, I would say, at least a foot of mud.
Who were you playing against?
I was playing for Heaven, and we were out playing somebody. And the game should have been called.
Oh, you're talking about rugby?
Rugby.
Was it Southampton Rugby Club?
No, it wasn't Southampton Rugby. I don't know who the
Loads
team was.
Of teams around there, like Romsey and
it was Romsey. It was
Trojans as well.
It was Romsey.
Was it?
Yeah. So like Norm came and watched the game. Lloyd was at the game. Murat was playing. Like Murat and me were playing. Norm and Lloyd were watching the game on the sideline. I got my foot stuck in like mud up to my ankle, and I tried to pull it out, and I got hit to the side. And that was post. Essentially, that was when the end of one season. It was sort of the end of my football career because I dislocated my knee and fucked all the ligaments and everything in again. Yeah. And that was when I just stopped playing for. Like, I didn't come back and play for the Dreadnoughts the next year because I was like, nah, I'm done. Like,
scared,
can't walk. But yeah, massively. So yeah, Romsey Rugby Club, just terrible fucking pitch.
Right, let's move on.
Cats pitches on common land. All players have to do dog shit patrol before kickoff. Been charred marks from camping ground barbecues in the past.
I think I've played there. I think that was when we played the Cats years ago. In our championship year.
Yeah, we did. We beat them like 53 fucking bugger all, like 53-6 or something.
I was a superstar that game, obviously.
That was my first game back from injury.
Yeah, I remember you sat wrapped up in a.
No, that was Birmingham. I sat as a spud. That was in Birmingham.
Who got injured that?
No, not Birmingham. East Kent. East Kent was the game. We travelled out to East Kent.
That's right.
And that was because the game before we'd played Solent and we had drawn with them or beat them, and I felt my knee click in week 1.
Yeah,
because that was the game. That was the game. I got like 2 sacks and 2 picks, and we beat them. And then I felt my knee click in that game, and then 2 plays in to the East Kent game, I was done. And then I had to have like 5 weeks off, and then I came back against the Cambridgeshire game.
I'm trying to find the.
They were awful.
I'm trying to find the results from the year.
Now that we're done reminiscing from 2015 when we averaged
is that long ago?
Yeah, we averaged like 51 points a game. Oh, Jesus. Cats also train next to a chicken farm. The smell of chicken shit burnt your nostrils out.
Well, when the Knights were at Farnham Rugby Club, which was this whole, state-of-the-art built place, it was right next to a sewage works. And the wind would blow and you'd be like, oh, like it was fucking awful.
Mate, my high school was across the road from a sanitarium factory. So sanitarium is the main.
Is that what I just said?
No. That's sanitation. That's sanitation. Sanitarium is the main cereal producer in New Zealand.
Oh, right.
So literally our all I ever smelt was Marmite. Like our whole school just smelled like Marmite because it was
Vegemite, that you have down there.
No, that's the Aussies.
You're all the same to us, mate.
That factory was the only factory in New Zealand that made Marmite, and it was always made at that factory. So you'd be walking to school, and all you could smell is just toast and Marmite, like the whole all through the day. So I was blessed through high school with the smell of Marmite. Right, Darlington scheme Scunthorpe Alphas. Like, let's say the game plays. They have a pitch. It's being played in Darlington. Yeah, see, Stu reckons a banging smell. Marmite. Oi, oi. Who wins? Darlington, Scunthorpe.
Oh, Scunthorpe.
Yeah, it has to be the Alphas, 100%.
Yeah.
We're still in lockstep right now. Samwell Steelers, Nottingham Caesars. It's the Caesars for both of us, I'm assuming. Like, I don't see any reason why you pick Samwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What do you reckon, 50? From the Caesars?
No, I think between 30 and 40. I think because I think what they'll do is blood some rookies and use it as an opportunity to get some game time to some players. So
bloody good game in the other version. The other game in that division, though, in the NFC One South, we got Northants Knights versus the Chester Romans.
Don't know. Well, let me just check the Romans results. What have they done so far?
Just take the Romans. Just take because I'm taking.
No,
Northants.
I want to take Northants.
I'm taking Northants. I can't not take Northants.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine then. I'll take
Northants are to me what, like, I won't say Bristol because I've never been to see the Northants club. But
Oxford.
I suppose Oxford. They're my Oxford. Like, I love them. I don't care win or lose.
They're quality, mate.
I will pick Northants against anybody, like, until the day I die. Just chalk me up for a Northants W I don't know if they're going to win it or not, but just every single game till the end of time, chalk me up Northants Oz W. That's all there is to it.
What's next?
So SFC One Central, Wembley, Norwich.
Wembley.
Yeah, I think Northants are my spirit animal. Fuck it. Yes, 100%. The Northants is my spirit animal. Are the Knights well rested? I don't know. Oh, Northants are. Yeah, they haven't played a game in fucking weeks. Northants haven't played in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So you are taking the Romans, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll take him. Yeah.
Yeah. We're both taking the Stallions. I liked them at the beginning of the season, and they felt. Yeah, so I liked them at the beginning. I thought they were going to be better than the O's and the Blitz B. I thought it was going to be them and the Hornets at the top. So they had a little bit of a hiccup, and then they've bounced back. And then we got the Hornets and the Spartans. I feel like there's no reason for me to type anything but Horton.
Top v bottom, right? Like
100%. Right, Bobcats Cheetahs.
Yeah, I think we need to split this one. So
I'll let you go first.
You let me go first.
I'll let you take. You can have your pick. Because I have no.
I just saw Bobcats play yesterday, and the Cheetahs didn't do as well yesterday as we sort of expected. This honestly could go either way. Bournemouth are at home, so home field advantage. Not that it's a huge difference when it's two good teams, but I'll go Bournemouth.
You taking Bournemouth? Okay. I'll take Hertfordshire.
Honestly, I'd have been happy with either.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I was perfectly happy with either.
This has got to be game of the week. Like, this is the one we've deliberated the most over.
I said last week that Hertfordshire are my Warriors, right?
Oh, look at Russ throwing in some stats now. To shut up, Russ.
If you remember, I said last week that Hertfordshire are my Warriors. I'm going to keep picking them until they lose. Yeah. So I would have taken Hertfordshire, but at the same time, I've got a soft spot for Bournemouth at the moment because I love what they're doing. I love seeing 50. Love seeing 50. When you come out and you put 50 points on Rushmere, it warms my heart. He's not happy with you. Right. Okay. So we've got the Railroaders against the Bombers.
Bombers.
Bournemouth have the most points in the conference. Ollie's right. They do have the most points in the conference. Are you taking the Bombers? I'm taking the Bombers.
Yeah. This is a good one. I'm going to take the Renegades.
You taking your home? Yeah, you getting your home? I'll split it with you. I'll take the Eagles. I don't really know enough about this division to go another way, but I'll take them anyway.
No, I think this one's going to be a tight game. But
Portsmouth all day and definitely twice on Sundays.
So not too many not too many games.
No, we're pretty lockstep on this one.
Yeah, they're not too many that we're split over. It's a shame.
I just
don't like it. Doesn't feel right.
Did Torbay score any points?
Torbay will not travel well, I don't think.
Torbay don't play well.
No, but you think about like if you're Torbay and you're like, oh, who are we losing against this week? Oh, we got to travel all the way to.
13, 14, 15. You're starting to sound like me.
But like,
just not pulling the punch anymore. Just
what's the? Hold on, let's just have a look at their record.
They've scored. Yeah, they need to score a safety. They've only scored 4 points this season.
Oh, that's right. They're the safety scoring team.
The safety.
Right, yeah.
They're the safety team. They need to score another safety.
So they play Portsmouth this week, Portsmouth next week at home, obviously, and then they play Cornwall at home the week after. Then they got like
Stu, help him out. Let him score a safety. Stu's tied in with the offense there at Portsmouth.
Yeah,
Let him score a safety. Hook us up. Let's get this run going.
I don't know. Like, they've got like the worldy punter, haven't they? That's the
which I think is who they're talking about here. Steve Dog Wildman for Torbay highlights.
On
it's
YouTube.
just the worldy punter.
You should get a team picture with just
the Torbay punter.
What's his name? Steve Dog Wild. Surely.
Well, I think that's his YouTube name. I don't think he was christened that, or that's on his birth.
That's my full name.
What? Steve Dog Wildman?
No, Steve Dog.
Steve Dog. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was popular in the early 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the Trojans are going to travel very well.
Right.
Sorry?
I said right.
Oh, I thought you said why, and I was like, well,
because they're not good.
Yeah. Just like why would it's the whole like, oh, well, what's the point? You know, you're Div 2, you're bottom, you're playing probably the best team in Wyverns are up there as well. Wyverns and Portsmouth.
One of the two best teams. It's until Portsmouth play Somerset, we can't really tell who the best.
No, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. But yeah, like from what I know of like the lax attitude towards playing these sort of games, right? From Div 2, I just don't see the Trojans traveling well.
Right.
And I don't see them scoring even a safety this time.
Oof.
I don't know. I don't want to disrespect
Steve Dog Wildman. You can't disrespect a fellow Steve Dog.
No, yeah. We've got to stick together. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of free and outs. Steve's going to get a lot of leg time in. A
lot of leg
time. But ultimately, it's not going to be enough, and they will lose. And I don't think they're going to score. That's how I think the game's going to go. What about you? Are you putting them down for a couple of
no
safeties?
No way. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest at all. I think Portsmouth will kick the shit out of them. I think Portsmouth is a very strong team at the moment, and I don't think Torbay, like you say, they might not travel well, but even if they travel well, I still don't think they've got the quality of player to He's a local Torbay man who's trying to get into sports coverage, and last season he did a video on how the touchback was a potentially game-changing play. That's old Steve Dog Wildman. So he's not a player. He is filming Torbay, by the sounds of it.
Who?
Steve Dog.
No, he's a player.
He's a local Torbay man who's trying to get into sports coverage.
Oh, gotcha. I thought he meant that was this punter guy, but
I don't know. Now I'm confused.
If you know him, get him to tag us in stuff, and we'll share it.
Yeah, send us some Torbay highlights.
Oh yeah, that's something I'm doing this week. Wednesday, I'm doing a live stream, just me, and I'm talking through all of how we live stream, so like all the equipment, how we set things up, the software, the hardware, the costs, everything. Because we get a few people contacting us asking it, asking about it. So just to plug that very quickly, on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, I'll be doing hopefully just one. It'll probably end up being 2 or 3 fucking sessions, but I want to make sure I cover everything and show you guys all the equipment like this, which is one of our cameras.
Oh yes.
But yeah.
Have we got Northern Streams on the roadmap now?
We got I've got all the equipment over here. I just need committed people from the north because the guys that said they could do it, they're only available like a couple of games each. I was like, that's not. So there's one other guy, Stefan, I'm just waiting to speak to. Hopefully he can do some more games, but I need to send like a few grand's worth of, I think about $4 worth of kit to someone, and they've got it, and then they can take it to each of the games. Or, you know, I don't know, there might be the odd game they give it to someone else, but I'd like it sort of housed and honed by someone because
of course.
It's just easier for logistics and stuff. But yeah, so we've got, I've got all the equipment. I just need to get the committed team. Actually, the thing is, it can be done by a one-man band. Like the equipment can run just for one person quite easily.
Right.
And that's all we need to get started. So I'm just trying to find that one person, and then we can get started. And then, you know, once we've got started, it will be easier to find other people because people get really excited by it also. But yeah, hopefully very soon we'll have the and when I say very soon, I think we've targeted not this Sunday, but the Sunday after for the first game that we live stream. But we need to get we haven't even approached teams yet. Send Kwame, yeah. Kwame was quality. He did yesterday. He was brilliant yesterday. So he'll be back doing some more.
You're not going to believe this. I've just tallied up the scores for our predictions from week 3 through week 6.
Yeah.
We both have got 52 correct.
Oh no!
Because of this last week, mate, you dropped the ball. 52 correct, 11 wrong, and 3 games that we picked a winner that turned out as draws.
Draws, yeah. Fuck, is that right?
Yeah, we are even.
I thought I was miles ahead of you.
No, mate, you got 6 wrong this week.
This week, yeah.
Week 3, you got 2 wrong. Week 4, you got 2 wrong. Week 5, you got 1 wrong, and this week you got 6 wrong.
So out of character for me,
mate. You dropped the ball, mate. You went 25% through the Prem. You got 3 out of 4 wrong in the Prem.
Oh man, who cares?
But now we've picked all 6
anyway.
We've picked all of the Prem games.
Yeah. We've only got a few.
All five Prem games we've picked exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only games that we've got that are differing for this week are the Romans North Ants.
Yeah.
The Cheetahs Bobcats.
Yeah.
And the Renegades Eagles. There's only 15 games this week. We had 18 games last week, and now we've got 15 this week.
Yeah, and then you'll have a game next week, the week after, where there's not enough refs because there's too many games. Like it's a load of shit.
I'll have to go back because we did predictions for both week 1 and week 2. So I'll have to go back and see if I can. They just weren't.
Oh, you're not counting week 1. I would.
I haven't got week 1 and week 2 because I never wrote it down. We just talked about it.
Yeah, I'll be definitely ahead.
Because we just. I'll have to go back and watch. I'll have to go back and watch the fucking stream from week 1 and week 2.
Yeah, do that. I'll be ahead. I'll be ahead.
Probably.
Good. I can't believe you were stitching me up for 2 weeks.
Mate, stitching you up for 2 weeks. I told you from week 3 through to week 6.
Yeah, no, but I wasn't listening.
You never are.
What?
Exactly.
Anyway.
It's not what. It's what.
Yeah, we're close with. I keep looking over here, not like you guys can see it, but that's where all the.
I was going to say, no one sees a thing.
No,
it's like this TV box. It doesn't actually exist here.
Yeah. But yeah, like that was the new camera I bought. One of them. There's other stuff. I'll show it all. Oh, this is new. USB SD card reader.
Oh, yep.
Lots of fancy new stuff, but I'll talk about it all on Wednesday for people who are interested. But yeah, because what I want to try and do is enable other clubs. Well, not a club, sorry. Enable clubs to do their own, if they've got the means.
Well, my question was,
better, right?
I was sort of curious around what the what games that we were looking at streaming in terms of.
Yeah, we've got. I don't know. I've got them on Facebook. Give me a sec. What you want to know? Which games we're?
Well, which are the next?
And I need to pin it because someone mentioned that to me. Someone from the Oxford Saints mentioned that to me.
I just need to know which. Right, so Northern live streams. Okay, I've got a list here that you've put in. I just need to know which one's
Oh yeah,
which one's the home game.
Hey,
I just need to know which one's the home game.
None of home team is the first team.
Okay, Chester, Merseyside, Lancashire.
But then none of those.
They're all. Read
them out. Don't read them out because they're not confirmed. They're just target ones. People don't know what we're going to do yet.
Okay, well, whatever one. There's one there that if it was, they're all ages away from me.
Yeah, because you live. There's 4 teams near you. The teams are The Vikings, who do their own live streams, which is awesome. The DC Presidents, who probably won't last a season. The Darlington Steam, who I don't like their head coach, so we're not going to do any of their games. And then that just leaves
Senators.
Gateshead Senators. So we would just do all you could do is Gateshead Senator games. There's no one else near you that you could do.
It is kind of far. It is kind of far away. I mean,
like
Yorkshire's
like a 14. 14 structure in Newcastle, but then there's nothing else.
Yeah, Yorkshire's like an hour and a half away, and then Scotland's like 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, so that's why we moved the team from Newcastle to Manchester now to get more coverage, because that was sort of like the next sort of epicenter of
northern football.
Yeah, and then the next team will probably be in Scotland, and the team after that will probably be in the Midlands.
I might just go rogue and turn up at a game.
We get 4 teams.
Just call you on my phone and just be like, I'm watching these guys play, and they are shite.
So it's just a shame that you live where you live, because otherwise we'd have been able to use you for stuff. But do you want me to tell you what the live streams are that we've got that are coming up?
Sure, let the people know.
Okay, I'll put it on screen, because then
let's turn this on. Sitting in the dark. Welcome up high. Someone just said it's the worst unboxing session ever. And you are just clocked out. You're not even paying. If you could tell me where the Highland plays their games, because I'm assuming
Highland,
are they up in Inverness?
Just on the fucking border, but they've got a north-facing beach.
Were they in Aberdeen?
How high up they are?
Where do they play, Tom? Where do the Highland Stags play?
Tom will post.
Yep, in Inverness. Fuck my life.
So this is the games that we're. It doesn't look that great. Let me see if I can. You can see it. So we're just about. We've just done. So they're in columns, as you can see. Left column is top left is the first game we live streamed, and then down underneath it goes week by week. Although some are double headers. So we've just live streamed the Oxford Saints Bournemouth. Then we've got the Aztecs Essex. Then we're back. You can see the Oxford Saints come up a lot because that's right they're right on our doorstep. The Saints. Oh, we are going to be doing the Saints South Wales game. That's going to be.
Have you got the relegation? Have you got the relegation battle? Have you?
Well,
nice.
One of them. Yeah. Knights versus Saints. Knights versus. We've got both of the fixtures for the Knights and the Cheaters, because of obviously what happened last year with the playoffs.
Yeah, of course.
The Kitty Cats thing.
Wait, you've got the Solent Seahawks versus the London Blitz.
Yeah, we
under 19s.
Already, yeah,
you've got the under 19s, right? Okay, so
so we do. Yeah, where we can, we've done double headers.
Right, okay.
So you see the two teams twice, or Solent Seahawks as well, because we did the Seahawks game. Oh yeah, we did. I thought we had it on the schedule, but we don't. Oh yeah, we do. Where is it? No. Anyway, we did the Seahawks game the other week, but we're going to do. They played the Warriors, and we're going to do their game against the Cheaters as well.
It's a 6-hour drive, Tom, to Inverness. So I'll have to pitch it to the missus if she wants to go to Inverness for a weekend or something.
I'm not.
Like
it's
you can just shut yourself down. Like, just you're not here. I'm talking to Tom now. It's just me and Tom.
Cool.
Can we get Tom on camera, please?
Cool. So that's what we've got currently in there, and we've also we've got some other games that we haven't released yet that we're going to do. But
has it got any DLC?
Huh? Is it what? ELC?
No, DLC. You're talking about you've got games you haven't released yet.
Non-downloadable
downloadable content. Yeah. Just wondering if these games have got DLC.
Yeah, that's what we've got, some DLC coming out. And then then the Northern schedule, if we get hopefully a Northern team or Northern people to be able to free up their Sundays more than just 2 before the end of the year.
I hope that the Highland Stags get a home playoff game and we can just ship the whole fucking Northern. Like I'll tag along, and we'll just send the whole team up to live stream a home playoff game in
No one
Inverness.
wants to go that far. Like
it's a journey.
Yeah, don't want to go that far. But yeah,
mate,
that's
if it's 6 hours for me, like you got to take like another 2 hours on for Manchester. So it's like 8 hours drive from Manny.
Yeah, fuck that. But yeah, so I don't. It's quite obnoxious to have a team there, really.
Mate, even having one in Scotland itself, like a live streaming team in Scotland, it's still 4 hours to go to the Highlands.
Because all the Scotland teams, apart from 2 of them, are fairly close together. So I'll try and get.
What's the other one that's not close together?
Aberdeen.
Oh yeah, the Roughnecks. Yeah. Right.
The other teams are fairly clustered. So I can confidently put a team there, and we should have a game each week. You know,
I was going to say because you've got the Wolves, you've got EKP, you've got Glasgow, you've got Inverclyde.
Yeah, well, again,
Clyde Valley.
We don't know until we speak to them, and they say.
No, I mean the teams in their area. Sorry, is what I'm talking about.
Hopefully, we'll get teams that say, "Yeah, live stream us."
Mate,
Wolves seem pretty keen, but yeah, what I don't want is having all this equipment just sat there doing nothing each weekend. I want live streams each weekend from it. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
and there we go. We've managed to fill time till 10 o'clock.
I didn't want to.
You want to talk about your live streams?
I did want to talk about them. Well, particularly the live stream on Wednesday, the equipment one. Yes. I'd rather everyone just got their own, and then we just shared the links.
Pay attention to the live stream on Wednesday, guys. If you want to know what equipment that Steve's using to stream, so you can get it for your own team.
Yeah,
it's only thousands of pounds worth of kit.
There are cheaper ways of doing it. We've gone like mid-market, I'd say, but I'll talk through all of that.
I was going to say you've gone through like price that's going to provide good quality content, but also it costs a little bit because it's good quality content.
Yeah, and but also ease of use I went for as well, because I need to be able to scale and send it to people, and then they can easily use it. So that's the other thing I looked into.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we have been the rundown. I'm Steve. That's Oz. We are excited to bring you all the previews for next week for week 8 and all the reviews shenanigans for week 7. And we'll have Steve's second topic of discussion ready to go. The one that we didn't.
I might have a new one by then. We'll see.
No, you never know. We'll keep pushing this one down the barrel, but you got to stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, cool. Cheers, guys. Bye.